There's a saying that people get the government which they deserve. If everybody was good, let us say in this country, in India, if every citizen, at least the majority of citizens are very much concerned about being right and correct and having integrity and honesty of purpose and living, okay, then a so-called leader, so-called government or so-called political leader cannot be corrupt. Especially if you look at India, at least as I know, the head of the family is likely to do things the way he wants. Spend a lot of money on liquor, for example, in India. Okay? If that is the unethical, freewheeling, careless behavior of the head of a family, perhaps the heads of nations can also be thinking and doing like that. The question is, in which way the citizens of a country who comprises such men, let us say so, who do things the way they want, how can they blame the leaders of a nation doing things the way they want? How the n number of employees in the government who do not do their work properly, who do not do their work correctly in the required way and taking care of the requirements of the citizens around, those government, so-called government employees who do not do their work properly, how can they complain that the government is not doing properly? So it is very much essential that everyone, like Mahatma Gandhi said, if the world or if a nation is to change, or if a nation is to progress in an ethical and integrated way, every individual has to change. That's what we as future managers and leaders would like to decide upon, the way we want to do things. All right? Whether or not the environment is conducive, we want to decide that we will try our possible, probable best to make things happen in the most appropriate and correct and good way. We use the word possibly, probably because even now there is no guarantee that highly educated, intelligent people around you, perhaps including the so-called top management of a corporation who are supposed to go by the rule of the governance, corporate governance law, commitment to stakeholders and internal customers, if even they are not supportive to the initiatives of ethical management which you want to practice, perhaps you may be in trouble. So, as creative managers, you may have to strategically intervene in doing things the right way. And we can decide so because being ethical, having that integrity of purpose is a very peaceful state of mind. At the end of the road, at the end of our career, we can feel really good about ourselves, even if we may have suffered a lot of so-called material loss. Ultimately, that internal agency, that original mind inside you will definitely support you and appreciate you for having taken that stand of being straight, being correct. So in that way, being ethical is our responsibility to existence. Is the point. Being ethical is our commitment to the very body which we happen to be in. Because every process of the very creature of the body is very ethical. The heart functions in an ethical way, I would say correct way, right? The intestinal canal, the brain, central nervous system, all the glandular systems, the enzymes, everything is working in a very firm or firmly correct, elegant, mutually tuned, complete manner. Otherwise, we cannot be even sitting like this. The so-called illnesses will creep in. So, that very creature which is alive by the firm, correct, complete function of every other system, and the mind supported by that system, if that mind is not able to do firmly and correctly, completely, then there is an integrity issue within the system itself. To the point. That is why all the mystics in the world, whether of the past or the present, of any culture, talked about the need of being ethical. That's why entire philosophy began with ethical concerns. That the top manager of the corporation of your own body, that means the you, have to be in tune with the ethical function of the very intelligence of you, very intelligence process of you. That is the ultimate standard of ethics which we can consider. Rather, I don't do anything that disturbs me, as in a simple dialogue. With the point. I don't want to do anything that will disturb me, myself. In the night I want to sleep very cool, very comfortably, without any doubt about whether I should not have done that or I should have done that. That kind of a thought should not be there. But in a practical sense, though it is a session which the educational planners have introduced the subject of ethics to uniformly make people believe that ethics is possible. When the very world is unethically going on with all kinds of evidences published every day through various media, print and visual, it is very complex for a single individual to be ethical. Okay? So what I would suggest as a trainer in developing ethical mind setting is that be strategically ethical and be strategically unethical. Because evidences show that if you happen to be in an unethical environment, if you do not do, they may terminate you from services, or they may even destroy you. Like that IIM graduate who was killed when he was working for Indian Oil Corporation.